what a night it was on ESPN Plus in Australia. The undercard was good. You had Pedro going against Maloney. Maloney lost in a split decision. And this man drops the mics and says, F it, I'm out.
Get back to me over the years, because I'm retired, I'm out. I love you all, but sorry, fuck that.
That the judges robbed him of his victory. I don't think he won the way he thinks he won, but that's just my opinion. But I don't think he won the way he thinks he won. And I definitely don't think it was like a robbery. It could have went either way. You know, he was landing the jab, but Pedro was landing a whole bunch of body shots that hurt him a lot. And I think he was like more active in the later rounds that might have swayed the judges. If you ask me, that's why it was a split decision, if you ask me. But Pedro said he'd give him the rematch, but Maloney like, nah, it's corruption, I'm out of here. But then they asked him in the back, he said he did tear his bicep, so he couldn't throw the hook, but he felt he didn't need to because he was in control. I don't think he was in control the whole fight. I think there was a lot of back and forth, so I don't think he was like totally controlled the way he think he was. So they asked him, you know, are you just speaking out of emotion? He said, you know, I'm gonna go home, you know, be with the kids, whatever, and then, you know, regroup and see. So I'm thinking he's definitely gonna come back. I hope he is gonna come back, because I don't think, you know, I'm just hoping. I would like to see that fight again, you ask me, you know. Dude said he'd give him a rematch, so we're gonna see about that. Then you got Nina Hughes against Johnson. And Johnson was bullying the 41-year-old. But if you ask me, Hughes was giving, Johnson to me she's powerful and she's bigger than Hughes, but she was swinging slow. But her hits was hitting. So I think Johnson rightfully won that fight. But like they say, Lieutenant Dan Hennessy, the daggone announcer, this daggone dude, they had that man in the VIP lounge. When they book these announcers, they need to tell them, listen, one drink in the beginning, then you done. No more. You gotta be clear for at least 2 hours of being sober, because that announcer, and I heard this is not his first time messing up. That's what I've heard. Now, this is my first time seeing him mess up, but I heard that's not his first time. This man, he got the cards wrong. He didn't say Nina Hughes win. Then about 20 seconds later, I'm thinking I'm watching some older footage or something of Neach Johnson. No, that was the real thing, live in effect. This man, the daggone said Johnson won. So he was like, I thought I won. Crazy. So Johnson has the title now. Hughes 41. I don't know what's next for her. I don't know. She's 41 years old. Not saying she still ain't got some fight left. She definitely got some pop with her, and definitely can let that thing go. So I definitely think she can do some things, but we just have to see when it comes down to that. But then moving on to the main event, we had Lomachenko against George Kambosos Jr. in Kambosos' backyard. Lomachenko repping that Ukraine. Shout out to him for taking a year off a while ago when he went to go fight for his country. Shout out to that man for doing that, making it bigger than himself. And some people are like, man, forget that. I'm not doing that. I'm a boxer. Hey, to each his own, but shout out to that man for doing that. Lomachenko, last time we saw him was almost about a year ago. He fought Devin Haney, like on May 19th, I think it was, of last year. He fought him and lost in a very, very, very close fight where Lomachenko think he got robbed for that fight. I would say that might be true, or it could have just been a draw and they could run it back, if you ask me. Kambosos also lost to Haney, but Kambosos lost to Haney in a worse fashion than Lomachenko did. So I always had, if you check my last video with my predictions, my last YouTube short, I definitely had Lomachenko winning. Did I think he was going to knock him out? Not sure, but I definitely thought he was going to win. And he did. He was in control the whole fight. Fighting at southpaw is not easy, from what most people say who are in the boxing world. Fighting at southpaw is not easy, and the fact that he couldn't step around to get to Lomachenko kept stepping out, disengaged, re-engaged, and he was just picking his shots and was able to catch Kambosos. Then eventually, as the rounds kept going, Lomachenko was breaking Kambosos down like he was a daggone 18-wheel transmission. I mean, just breaking him down. So, and he kept catching him. I mean, no Mas Chenko, going back to that name, no more Lomachenko, because his Kambosos team had no more after the second knockdown in the 11th round. He got knocked down in the 11th round. got up, and then within about 5 more seconds, he got knocked down again with 10 seconds left in the 11th round. So he got knocked down twice. Those are the only 2 knockdowns, but those were the 2 knockdowns that counted. And he needed to get a TKO because George Kambosos Sr. threw the towel in as the ref was waving it off after Kambosos went down again with a liver shot. So shout out to George Kambosos for being tough to get in the ring and stay in the ring and want to go out on his shield. He was very disappointed in himself with saying, you know, he's okay with losing on the cards or, you know, stuff like that. But getting a TKO on his belt under his record, he don't like that. So Lomachenko's a champion again. And what's next for Kambosos? He's going to go home, be with his family, then regroup. I don't think it's over for him. I think he still wants to fight some more, which is good. They just he gotta work on his footwork. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but he's gotta work on his footwork. They said he changed his trainer and everything, his management staff and all, but he gotta change that footwork. That footwork is hurting him. And he's a counterpuncher, which is great to be a counterpuncher, but you gotta be a counterpuncher knowing that there's, like, he still gotta engage. He let Lomachenko set the pace. That's messed up. You let him set the pace and you waiting to hit a counter on his first shot. Lomachenko didn't already hit you with 3. And you still trying to counter the first one. That's what I was saying. So when you got that going on, it's going to be kind of hard to beat somebody as good as who they consider on the ballot for one of the best southpaws to ever step in the sport of boxing. So shout out to Lomachenko. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer. And now Lomachenko says he's going to go home and be with the family. But who called him out? They say Tank. Tank said after he deal with Frank the Ghost Martin on June 15th, after he get him out of here, from what Tank say, he want Lomachenko. They asked Lomachenko about Lomachenko, say he's going to go home with the family. Then they think about it. He did the right thing. Go home, be with your family. You got your dub. You get to take your belt home to your son. And then you get to rest up. And then you get to figure out what's next. You know, so I know people want to see Tank and Lomachenko get it on. Do I think Tank and Lomachenko will be a good fight? Yes. Do I think Tank will beat Lomachenko? I definitely think that's where somewhat of age will come into play. I just think, and Tank can hit. Not saying Lomachenko can't, but Tank is different. I just think Tank's age, his power, it's going to hurt Lomachenko if you ask me. I don't know if Lomachenko can keep up. Some people didn't think he can keep up with Kambosos, but Kambosos is different. He's not Tank. So, interesting to see, though. We'll like to see that fight, though. But shout out to Top Rank. Shout out to ESPN Plus. It was a great event besides the announcer. And then when they was about to get to the main event, the daggone announcer had the nerve to throw the cards up like he don't need them things. Nah, champ. You just messed up. You need to pick them cards up off the ground and make sure you don't mess up this event. Your paycheck on the line, Slim. Smile like that. But y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all keep that Go Smack mentality. Follow me on all my socials on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so y'all can keep up with all motorsport and all boxing. Smack like that!